All right, so today I'm joined by Jacobe Smith after a crazy first round knockout at UFC Houston over Josiah Harrell. Welcome back, man. How you been?
Pretty good, brother. How about yourself?
I've been great, man. Been busy.
Yeah, I think we all been pretty busy.
Yeah, right. Especially with the new year, trying to get off to a good start. But I think you've been busy also because you've been training a lot. You've been switching up teams and stuff. So there's a lot of catching up that I think we need to go through a little bit. So just to start it off, I just mentioned it. Going into this fight, you switched teams. You were over at Fortis in I think Texas or something before this.
Yeah, that's downtown Dallas, and we
Dallas.
ended up opening up a gym in Forney, Texas. Uh, Pretty much a wrestling room, incorporated MMA, Ranger MMA, and ever since then, I think my last fight was International Fight Week of 2025. So there's about a 9-month delay, and in between that whole process, moving, finding partners to come over with us and doing all this it's been a little crazy, but I mean, training hasn't been compromised at all.
Okay, got you. And in the last interview after your fight, you were talking about like, bro, I've been training in the backyard and the front yard for like my whole UFC career so far, and it's been difficult to kind of like find my place over at Fortis because I kind of joined and this gym's already established, so I don't really have a lot of partners or like, friends and stuff like that around here. So it's hard for me to get a lot of connection. So I've been training by myself.
I'm not even half of where I'm gonna be. And that's just telling the truth. Most of my camp was done at home in my front yard, backyard, running through my neighborhood. And Ilya Tapori got his whole team. He's showing up to the team every day, strength and conditioning, professionals getting him to do this, doing that, doing that. But then you got me waking up, staying home, homeschooling my kids, waiting until my wife gets off work at 5, and then, put my stuff on, going for a run through the neighborhood, shadow boxing, calling whoever I can. Most of the times nobody ever came to my house and helped me train. And over 70% of my camp was done in my front yard and my backyard on my own. So
Damn.
y'all
Still?
seeing y'all seeing this for me. This is me. This is me, you know.
Well, because I mean, everybody knows to some degree that you train at Fortis, but I remember when we were talking in that last interview, you were kind of saying like, I don't really train like that. Like, I don't really go into the gym that often. At least I
hmm
thought when you don't have a fight booked, but then you got the fight booked. I thought that you were going to start going in the gym more, but still 70% of the camp
Yeah.
was at
So
home.
yeah, that's what it is for
Is that
me.
because the living situation or like because you don't want to like something about training partners or something like that? Or what's like the biggest
I guess
contributing factor?
I guess it's a little bit of everything. I'm not the type of guy to go out of my way and ask them. I feel like moving from AKA to Fortis, you know, that a little bit of an outsider in a sense. And I ain't finna be like, hey, y'all need to be here doing this for me and this and that, making demands on people that, this is their home. It was their home before mine. And so I'm trying to build my team how Elia Taporia or Charles did theirs. And so it ain't a question. I got them calling me, telling me where I need to be, holding me accountable, doing this. But you got them, they had a job and was doing all this before I even came in the picture. And now that I'm in the picture, I'm not going out of my way to ask people to do this for me or do that for me because I know how to get up and bust my ass and push myself, honestly.
So you opened up Ranger MMA with a bunch of wrestlers from where?
Oklahoma State, Kyle Krushmer and Nick Piccinini. We were the three that started it, and then I think we've grown the team to about 20 to 35 plus. And then you got your people that come in and out every now and then to help, like Ramiz or Kevin Pease. I mean, we got some good athletes to come in whenever we need them. It's just getting them to fully commit and come over to the gym. So everything's been nice, smooth flowing. Uh, it's just not having that gym. Like you got nights where you want to go in and use the sauna or get a workout in late at night or do this and do that. We got access to those kind of things now, and it's actually a good thing for me.
Okay. And what was the, deciding factor to kinda make this switch? Were you still trying to make it work at Fortis for a little bit, for, like, a couple months after your last fight, and you just came to a conclusion, like, "I think it would be better off if I go somewhere else and get some of my old teammates to kinda, like, be my head coaches, so to speak?"
Yeah, so there was really no bad blood with the switch. It just I just started noticing things that that rubbed me wrong coming from the head coach at Fortis, and I wasn't all the way for that. And I would have been training back and forth because I didn't have a problem with nobody. But then, some words got tangled up trying to get me to, you know, bump heads with, my friends that, they family literally invited me to their Christmases. You know, they send my kids stuff. They call me and ask me how I'm doing weekly, for somebody to try to, spread rumors that they are trying to like do me dirty. It just didn't sit right with me. So I just dismissed myself from the whole situation.
Okay, got you. Was, the person that they're trying to make it seem like did you dirty, is that somebody from, like, a different gym or something? Is that why these rumors were spreading, or, like, what's the
No,
origin of
from
it?
that gym, from Fortis.
Oh, so they're from Fortis, and they're trying to get you to beef with somebody from Fortis.
No, yeah, pretty much. The dude, so before we moved to Fortis, I was at AKA, as everybody knows. And Kyle Crutchmer and Nick Piccinini and myself, we started this fight game together. We lived in a shack down there in California. When we moved to Fortis, it was us three, pretty much. And Kyle Crutchmer wanted to start his own gym, and he wanted me and Nick to be head coaches and a part of it. And as we did our careers, be a part of that. And we were for it. And I was going to be a part of it and still train at Fortis pretty much back and forth. And a lot of drama started going around, just rumors. I don't know who started them. He say, she say shit, but I got a phone call and people was trying to mix me in the drama. So I put everybody on a fucking joined call and was like, so what was said, who was said, and a lot of people wasn't answering the phone and changing up stories. So I just dismissed myself from the whole situation all in hand.
Okay. You try to solve it, and nobody wants to own up and raise their
Mhm.
hand for who started
Oh
it, so
yeah.
you're like, "Alright,
I don't
fuck
because I don't
this."
play that shit.
Yeah.
And as soon as I gave everybody the opportunity, motherfuckers wasn't answering the phone. People, I didn't say this, and I'm keeping tallies because I know you said this. And so I dismiss myself because I'm not. I mean, fighting is enough for me, and I don't really fuck around with the drama.
Yeah.
I leave that shit for everybody else.
Yeah, and I know that you and, Nick Piccinini and Crutchmar are pretty close. So
Oh
whoever
yeah,
tried to get in the way between you guys, I mean, I'm assuming that one of those guys called you and they're like, "Yo, so and so says this is going on. Is this true?" And you put him on blast.
definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I put everybody on blast, like, who's saying what, what's being said, put the fucking messages in this group text, group message. Say what you said to me, because this is what you told me, and nobody's story seemed to match up. So I just backed off. It was like, from moving forward, I'm representing a different gym. Thank you guys for the opportunity, but I'm representing myself from here on out.
Okay, got you. And a lot of people were thinking that, like, Ranger was based out of Vegas. So just to be specific, you're still in Dallas?
Yeah, it's Forney, Texas, so it's not
Foley,
too far from
Texas.
Dallas. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. And, this might be, random to you, or this might be a part of, related to your story a little bit, so this is why I'm bringing it up. And I was actually gonna ask you a different way of bringing this up, which was I do a lot of interviews with Joaquin Buckley. He told me
Mhm,
that he wanted you to come train with him in St. Louis. Like, he had reached out somewhere along the lines to get some
mhm,
work in with you. He wanted to pay you to come train with him. But, he
mm,
said that your head coach got in the way of that to some degree, and so that's why it didn't come to fruition. And so in our past interview, I was like, "Well, I know Jacoby, so if you ever want me to reach out to Jacoby, I could easily send him a message and, help you guys get connected if you're interested in that. If not, no
yeah,
worries." But now that you tell me this, and Joaquin was telling me your coach got in the way of it, I figured I
Yeah.
would just bring it up in general. And I was gonna ask you, like, now that you're at a different gym, because Joaquin said that your coach got in the way of that, would you be
Mhm.
open to train with him now? That's kinda
Oh,
like
absolutely,
okay.
and the crazy thing, I knew nothing about this, like,
Wow.
so that's bullshit, I don't know what they had going on, but, that never this is my first time hearing about it. Um, Literally, I did this fight camp down in San Jose pretty much with DC mostly, and while I was down there, Crutchmer reached out to me and was telling me, "I'm gonna try to get you set up with Buckley because I've been hearing that y'all 2 should train." He was down to train or whatever, and I was like, "Damn, I wish I woulda known this. We coulda brung him out here or we coulda linked up before this," but, outside of that, I knew nothing about that, which is crazy.
Yeah, that is
So, that
crazy.
just goes to show, man, it's a whole bunch of bullshit going behind, and who knows, man? So, I think it's just been for the better.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. Well, people be doing shady shit. It's like a lot of people talk behind the scenes. Like a conversation me and Joaquin had, completely innocent, might be bringing some other things to the forefront now, which is very interesting. So I guess we'll see. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have him on this week because his fight with Sean Brady got booked. So I'll let him
yeah,
know like you guys are down to train with him, and you didn't know anything about like the offers in the past getting denied or anything like that.
yeah. Them dudes, they crazy, man. They try to control the whole narrative and this and that, and the crazy thing is, like, they was ran a certain way at Fortis that I didn't completely agree with, but them accepting us and being able to move here and be closer to family, I just, shut up and trained and just fell in line. And then everything started breaking out about all the bullshit going on and it started affecting me and the shit that I did, because I mean the smallest shit like, you training at a gym and the motherfuckers are telling you, we don't train with shirts off, put your fucking shirts on. And I'm out there and I'm in the middle of sparring and I'm taking my shirts off. I'm taking my shirt off. And, the head coach talking about, put your fucking shirt back on. I'm like, I'm not putting my shirt back on. And whoever coming over here to train with me, they need to take their shirt off because I'm taking them down a little too easy. And when I fight, I don't fight with no shirt on. So I need the real feel. And, everybody looking at me like, oh shit, he's stepping up to authority type shit. And I'm like, bro, this is bullshit. Like we had a fighting gym. We fight like this and that. Like little things like that just rubbed me wrong. But it got to the point where I'm like, nothing that you doing is making sense. Like I'm not progressing. Like I'm in here wrestle fucking everybody and not evolving my game. So, I'm starting to make decisions for myself that I know is gonna get me to another level.
Mhm. Interesting.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
crazy,
A lot of
crazy shit.
micromanaging and shit like that, like,
Yes,
between the
literally.
what you wear at training, who you get to train
Mhm.
with, like,
Mhm.
you and your other training partners opening up a gym and splitting time, they don't like none of it. They want you to be
Yeah.
100% Fortis, nothing else.
Yeah, it's which is crazy because how you gonna evolve if you fucking everybody up at Fortis and, you know, you giving everybody work, they improving, but you staying at this stagnant ass spot and, you know, you gotta be your own man at some point.
Mhm, for sure. What does DC think about all that fucking, like, micromanaging? Because obviously he's kinda like your mentor, kinda like one of your yeah, mentors, I guess is the right word for it, so he kinda guides you a little bit if you ever need advice, so what did he make
Yeah,
of
he gets
everything?
it more than anybody, man. He gets it.
He's like, "No, that's bullshit."
Yeah, he want us here around our family. If we get a fight scheduled, come here, fly in whoever we need to fly in. You let me know who you want me to fly in. He'll fly in people for me. He, if I wanted to Buckley to come train with me in Cali, DC would handle all that for me. Pretty much being my manager, my management team. They handle all that shit for me, and it's never been a problem. Like and outside of training and everything, just building, the skill aspect on what you need to be doing to be on the right road to becoming a champ. He touching all the points and it just makes sense that they were just on so different spectrums that if we did try to listen to DC it was a problem for that gym. So it just it didn't click, and it was creating more chaos than doing good. So had to level up pretty much.
I see. And now that you guys are over at Ranger or form that gym, you and DC, along with Crutchmer and Piccinini, can all work in harmony. Versus
Yeah,
like
like
I'm trying to do what DC's telling me, then this guy's telling me do something else. Now I got to go to DC and tell him he doesn't want me to do it. DC's making me go back
mhm,
to him. It's like, bro, I'm trying
yeah,
to train for this fight. I'm worried about homie punching me in the face right now. Not
yeah,
like pissing off my head coach when world
mhm,
champion DC's trying to tell me what to do, you know?
yeah. A guy
Crazy.
that knows the blueprint and
Exactly.
has actually fought in the UFC and experienced greatness.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm open and like what big deal is it that I go train with this guy over here, I'll do it accordingly, because I know how to take care of myself. Shit get too crazy. You go to different gyms, they try to green light you, do this and that, hurt you. Like I understand that shit, man. I got my wits about me. And I mean, if that ever became a problem, I'm not traveling on my own. I got a team. We can handle that shit and get out, respectfully if that did become the issue. But, we all trying to, obtain greatness, and somebody reaching out because they know I'm good here and I know I could benefit from it. You can feel the generosity, the genuine fucking concern of them trying to help. And if there's any question about it, then, I'll just dismiss myself from the situation. But I mean, it helps. We all just fighting. And if you get those bullshit guys like people that do try to fuck you over, you kind of get that feeling in the beginning and you just listen to your instincts. But I haven't came across nobody that was just a piece of shit like that.
Yeah. Don't tell me though. I mean, I'm just assuming, so tell me whether I'm accurate or not, but don't tell me that the gym was like, "Nah, we don't want you training over here for your own safety." Is that what they were saying? Like, don't go train at other gyms because they might greenlight you. Like, we're looking out for your best interest. Don't train elsewhere. Or am I making that up?
Uh, no, that just it's an implied thing. Like that's the smartest thing you can put on it when it's not making sense and details not being put out there. But I'm at the gym, everybody else is cross training doing all this. But as soon as me and my little group do it, it becomes a problem. And I don't know if that stems from he sees my potential and you know somebody might steal me or
That's the
I
first thing that
might
came
end
to my
up.
mind, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that kind of shit going on. But before all the bullshit, before we started cross training, me and my boys, Nick and Kyle, it was never a problem to cross train. But as soon as we start doing it, it's like we not doing this cross training bullshit. We at this gym, this and this, extra training is being implemented and this and that to keep us from doing that. And it just rubbed me wrong.
I got you. All right. Well, fair enough. It seems like they just wanted to keep it in house. And I think a lot of people know it's a bit of an unsaid thing that a lot of coaches, right, have ulterior motives. They'll grab a
Mhm.
fighter and use that fighter as a ticket for them to get a lot more clout and a lot more notoriety and ascend their own careers.
Yeah.
And that's why they want to keep certain fighters in house. Not to say they did that with you, but I think it is a fair um, thing to point out. That happens in the sport for sure.
Mhm.
Okay. And then, like, how many weeks did you spend in Cali, if anything, just training over at DC's gym? Because he recently started a new team as well.
I went out there for 4 weeks, hit another level of shape. Hadn't been in that kind of shape since Oklahoma State wrestling. So it's pretty much, that accountability. And then once I finished there, flew out to Vegas for a week, got my UFC PI shit in, and then had like a week and a half or so before the fight, flew back home, finished up the camp, and it was perfect because I was expecting that fight. Well, I ain't gonna say expecting it, but I was wanting it to go the distance. But I was so ready that I kind of knew that it was gonna be a cakewalk.
Okay. Yeah, so speaking about the fight and even leading up to it a little bit, you were booked against Seo Ko, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name of him. Pulled
Yeah.
out due to a rib injury. How far removed from the date of the fight did he pull out due to rib injury? Because it seemed like you were without an opponent for at least like a week and a half to 2 weeks. Was it longer or than that you were without an opponent?
I'll say around the 2-week mark, I found out, and then, like, 4 days after that, they sent me, Harrell, and they was like, "We're still looking for somebody on contract. We would rather have that, but if nobody accepts, this is the guy." And then 2 days after that, they was like, "This is the guy we're going with. We can't find anybody else to accept it," pretty much, and so that's how it went. So,
Okay.
me and Josiah probably knew a week in advance or so.
I think it was like even less, maybe 6 days or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Does that stuff not bother you though when you're kind of like days out from your fight with no opponent? Is that kind of like remind you of wrestling in a way? Because in wrestling, you don't know who you're necessarily going to go up against, right?
Yeah.
But I was wondering
Um,
about that, how you were processing not having an opponent and then boom, last minute switch up like week of the fight.
the biggest thing to bother me was, you put in all this training, spend all this money on this camp, and you in a situation where you might not get that opportunity or they might reschedule when you pinpointed it to be here and you need that money. Um, so and then on top of that, I was gonna be fighting a southpaw, and to reschedule, it was probably like a 85, 90% chance I was gonna be fighting ortho, you know? And just so happened they found him, he was a southpaw as well, and it ended up working out, but, the opponent switch didn't really bother me too much because I feel like my style is just is so raw and gifted and, untamed to a point where, like, I can adapt, you know? And I always got that wrestling button that I can push to shut down and neutralize a whole bunch of bullshit. So I wasn't too worried about anybody, whoever it would have been, even a top tip 15 opponent. I don't see any of them, you know, making me putting me in a position where, oh shit, going into the third round is 1-1. Like I feel like I would have controlled the fight against anybody they put me in there against.
Yeah. So you're more so just stressing about like, am I going to be able to fight on this date and shit versus like stressing
Yes.
about who you're going to be fighting per se.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
like, this is my date, I want this date, like, I'm trained, I mean,
I need
we
this
all know
bag. I
right
can't
hand,
delay it
left
another two
hand,
weeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I need this bag, like, I
Yeah.
want it.
I feel
This
you.
is my date, and switching that date would it just it the date pretty much was more so the problem than anything.
Yeah, that's important. Do you like to have like what's your ideal training camp? Like a 6 week camp, a 4 week camp?
Uh, around 6 to 8 weeks, I
6 to 8.
prefer. Yeah, around in
Okay.
that but if I'm training and expecting shit, I mean, I could go anywhere from 2 to 8.
Got you. So if they give you a notice like stay ready, you could take it on a shorter notice pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Okay.
right now, like, Monday, I'll be back in the gym training, and any fallout at my welterweight and they need a replacement, I'm there to take that.
Okay, bet.
Like, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get into like your return and all that right now then, but I just want to break down the finish because you just said, your style is super raw. And almost like what I was explaining how you finished Josiah was like you freestyled it. Like it seemed
Yeah.
like you let Josiah, once he got in on that takedown attempt, you must have felt it somewhere along the lines and be like, all right, I'm gonna let him take me down. And I mean, people are calling it a Granby roll, but it's like a backwards Granby roll type thing you did. But the finish, in my opinion, was so freestyled, it was, like, crazy, and it added a lot of, like, shine to the finish. But if you
Yeah.
could break down the finish from your perspective, am I right about that? Did you kinda let him take you down once you felt he was in on the shot because you felt like you could throw him over you and shit and, like, all that?
So, before the fight, my team was telling me, this dude is gonna wrestle you because your striking is so much more cleaner than his. Like, you're gonna frustrate him and he's gonna try to wrestle. And I was telling him this is the worst fucking thing he could do because wrestling is, mine. That's mine. Like against anybody I go out there with, that's mine. If that's your way to victory, you're in big fucking trouble. And the finish that he ended up getting, the first time he shot on me, I was defending. Like I was just trying to give him weight because wrestling, you getting up under all that weight and trying to finish, that's gonna get you tired more quicker than what you want to get. And so I was just trying to make him carry my weight in a sense. So that's why, like, when I do get takedowns, I'm getting them bitches and I'm getting through. Like, I'm not getting it and struggling or anything. I'll set up some shit and make it look effortless in a sense. And when he came in, he body locked me. He was squeezing and using all his strength. And I was like, oh, this dude's in trouble. So I just gave him my hips, gave him my body. And when he went to go take that turn, we kind of hit the ground. And it's kind of like, what the inside trip is Henry Cejudo does?
Yeah,
The So it was that without I didn't get the leg to hook in. So I just used my momentum to flip over instead of
I
having the
see.
leg hooked. And a lot of people don't know that how to do it, but wrestling, I mean, I did it so much and I'm an upper body wrestler. Um, it just came effortless. And soon as we hit the ground, I just used that momentum to flip over. And once I flipped over, it was all she wrote, man.
Yeah. How did you kinda sense that, I mean, did you think you were gonna be able to knock him out from landing that ground and pound, or were you just trying to land a couple shots and, like, move to mount or something, and then you're like, "Oh, damn, he's out."
Yeah, I was gonna so first thing that came to me was, "Oh shit," flipped on top and I'm hitting him. And I thought he was gonna belly out and I was gonna take his back and force him back up, make him carry my weight. So then when he stood back up, he didn't have the energy to even hold his hands up. Like I wanted to fucking knock him out. I wanted another highlight knockout on my feet.
Like
He
Preston
initiated the
Parsons.
wrestling and so it went from there. But as I'm hitting him, like the first couple shots, I felt his body go limp and I feel the ref reaching in, and I didn't know if he was reaching in to feel his hands to see if he was still there or what, but that's why I kept hitting. And whenever he pushed me off the second time, he did it kind of aggressively, and I'm like, God damn. And now that I watched the tape back, it's like he was trying to stop me, but I mean, nothing really of it. He one or two shots that was extra, which I think people making it seem worse than what it was, but he's all right. Me and my team reached out to him. I've reached out to him. We've talked and, no bad blood.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I did see a lot of the fans getting on you, getting on the referee and stuff, but honestly, when I was watching it, I put no blame on you. I didn't even put that much blame on the ref, but you're saying in hindsight, the ref kinda went in for the stoppage and, like, he almost got, like, scared of you and he, like, backed off and he went back in or something?
No,
Like,
like
he
when
didn't wanna get hit
you
by
know
you?
how when like you lock somebody up or like you got them against the cage or you trying to submit them or something and the ref reaches in and grabs their hand just to see if they still do there.
Yeah,
Like that's so the first time he stopped, he was like just putting his hand in. Like so I didn't know if he was like it's over because he wasn't saying nothing. And then I guess he was putting his hand down in there to, say
to
like
wave
stop.
you off, so to
Yeah.
speak. Yeah.
And so but right before the fight, he came back there and was like, I know what kind of fighter you are. Don't stop until I get you off. Literally. Right before I walked out, he was saying this. And so whenever that happened and then he did put his hand on me, I'm thinking he's checking to see if the dude's all the way there. Cause a split second before he checked on uh he put his hand in, that's when I felt him go from using all that muscle and might to, oh shit, I'm stuck here. And then I just kept hitting. I hit like two more times, and that's when the ref got aggressive. And that's when after I'm walking around the cage and celebrating, he was like, next time, just stop a little earlier. And then I looked at him, I was like, what do you mean? Like, I felt like it was a great stop, like, no problems. But then afterwards, I watched the fight, and I'm like, damn, it was like a half a second delayed, but it wasn't as bad as everybody trying to make it seem, which I don't really care too much because I'm gonna keep whooping ass. So
That's your
it
job
is
at
what
the
it
end of the
is.
day, so who ca like, not who
Yeah,
cares, but I think a lot of people are making it worse because of Josiah's brain injury going into it. For those that don't know, he was
yeah,
signed to the UFC, he got cut after he got found out to have moya moya. He underwent brain surgery and all that, so after the brain surgery, he's been competing, which allowed him to get re-signed, so props to Josiah, but I do think that's why a lot of people are more on it because it's just more so fear for Josiah after the brain surgery.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he came into this fight with a little fan base,
Yeah, for sure.
because all my fights, people is like, it's maybe 50-50. Jacoby gonna kill him, or this guy's gonna get him, or this and that. Motherfuckers was like, this dude's finna fuck Jacoby up, something, like more so than I was saying. My people on there like, y'all crazy, or Jacoby got this, like, and so I'm like, oh shit, this dude coming in with a little fan base, a little people that got some hope. I get to fucking ruin a lot of people's hope for this guy, and it didn't even live up to the hype. It was nothing.
What did you
But
make about, going in there against the guy who, had the brain surgery? Did you have any reservations going into the fight, or it's the fight game, it's you or him in there?
yeah, I didn't really. I know my mom called me before, like a week before the fight, and was like mentioning that to me, and I was like, well, I just hope nothing bad happens, and I end up knocking him out and he end up dying or something, or I just hope we get in there and get out safe. And for the fight to turn out the way it did, it's just like, man, fuck, dude. I hope he all right. So after I get checked by the doctors and I walk out, me and my team is messaging and calling his team. We get in our car to get escorted back to the hotel room, and I'm messaging them, is he all right? Like, what is there anything we can do? Y'all need anything? And, they responded, he all right. He got in the cage, this and that. He pretty much telling us his status and stuff. But I mean, it's not like we hate the dude or nothing. It's
No, yeah, of course not.
more respect to him. But um all these fans and shit, they could just shut the fuck up because they don't understand this. And even if they do, we all good on both sides. So
You
it
guys are
is what it
brothers
is.
now after the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say brothers,
But so
but
to speak,
you
because you
know,
guys, like, shed blood in the
yeah,
octagon together.
yeah. Like I don't have no bad blood, even if he did. I mean, I reached out to him and said pretty much word for word. I'm gonna read this to you because I mean I just feel like you know, as violent as I am when I'm in there, uh, it's just business for me, and I'm just trying to take care of my family. But I just reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, man, this fight game is crazy, as we both know, and I just wanted to give my respect and gratitude for the opportunity, whether it matters to you or not. I'm sending prayers for health and a great future for you, brother." And he responded and all this and sent his gratitude and respect and shit, and so it's as much as we in there beating each other's head in, like we don't want each other to die. I just want my family taken care of. And now that that's over with, even if he responded disrespectfully, I know in my heart I made sure he was okay. And if he needed anything, I would have been there for him. So it is what it is.
Got you. I would say too, don't get too down on yourself about the stoppage. Not that it seems like you are or anything, but why I'm saying that is, and the ref too telling you, hey, next time just like stop a little sooner is crazy work because this is the same referee who let Bobby Green almost die in there against Jalen Turner. I don't know if a lot of people have brought that up to you. But
Yeah.
if you remember that knockout where Jalen Turner had
Mhm.
Bobby face down and Bobby ate like 12 extra strikes, that's the same
Damn.
referee from that too. So just letting
Yeah.
you know, homies, he got a little track history of being late to the stoppage.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So coming up to you, it's like, homie, this is your second time. But anyway,
Yeah.
besides that, I wanted to say, after the fight, right? Kevin Holland, he's in the arena. So you made a beautiful
Yeah.
call out of Kevin Holland. I actually have it. So let me read out the call out just for those who might have missed it. Because it was actually it was a short and concise call out, but you got the message across. And you said, I got a name in mind outside of the top 15. That's where I want to be. But if not, Kevin Holland, where your bitch ass at? He was in the arena.
Yeah.
And then Kevin
Yeah.
responded actually, and I don't know if you saw this one, but he goes, damn, got caught out by a muscle midget.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. If that's what he wanna call me, a muscle midget coming to whoop his ass. Nah, it's all a part of the show for me. I pretty much knew I wasn't gonna get the fight because I knew he was booked, but, the reason why I said his name is because, when they were saying they couldn't find an opponent and all this, I was nervous. I'm talking to DC and I'm like, DC, man, call Kevin Holland. His ass fought like 5, 6 times, you know. He fight anybody. Call Kevin Holland. And DC was like, I don't know if you ready for Kevin Holland, something, something, pretty much. And I was like, you got me fucked up. I'm calling his bitch ass out after my next fight. And all that adrenaline was running and everything just started going and going. So I mean, I could care less if I get that fight or not. I'm gonna run through this division and get to where I want to get, regardless of what path they send me on.
Okay. So let's say hypothetically you get that fight, you get the victory. That blood is on DC's hands. He's the one who made
In a
that
sense,
happen.
in a sense,
Yeah,
yeah,
don't doubt you next time.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
And then I also actually saw I didn't see the full quote, but I saw that you called out D-Rod. I hear
Yeah,
D-Rod's locked up though in fucking Mexico.
yeah, that's what they were saying. I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
I mean, there's no confirmation, but you're down to run it with D-Rod?
Oh yeah, any of these dudes that make sense, you know. Like I'm giving all the I went prospect, right? I guess you could say prospect debutant, a vet Niko Price, you know. Like, what's next? Like, I need to start building and getting fights that's gonna help, you know, push me to where I wanna get instead of fighting backwards or fighting people that people know that Imma beat, you know? Give me a test that's gonna, push me up to where I know I deserve, I need to get what I need to get.
Yeah, and I
So,
think the way you've been, winning these fights dominantly and finishing all your opponents, it's time for the step up. It's not like you're one of these guys who has a lot of expectation, and then you're going in squeaking out decision wins off of guys who are, debuting per se, like Josiah was. You're going out, you're finishing them. You're making that statement like, "I belong in this upper echelon. Test me up here now." So I
yeah,
think it's perfect timing to be tested in the upper echelon, if not a ranked opponent, at least kind of like right around, somebody that's circling outside the rankings. I mean,
yeah,
shit, homie that just knocked out Jeff Neal, Euros Medic. That could be
yeah,
one.
yeah, he up there, and
Yeah.
as crazy as that sound, like, he just getting there, I mean, that'd be a nice ass lineup, you know? So I mean, why not? When did he start fighting? Like
He's been
how much
fighting in the
ahead?
UFC for a minute. I think he's 7-3 in the UFC. I could look it up real quick.
Okay, so he's been there a little bit before me, but still, like, I don't see that being too far-fetched.
No, honestly, I think it's perfect because Medic, he has a few losses in the UFC. And so I think in order to be considered a prospect again, he gotta fight someone like you.
Mhm.
Because they gave him prospects in the past and he lost. And
Gotcha.
let me see Euros Medic real quick. Let's just go to Tapology. Yeah, he's been in the UFC since not crazy long, but since 2021, and he came in off Contender Series too.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so honestly, I think that fight is pretty realistic. I was actually gonna also pull up the welterweight ranking since we're just on this subject. I'll just mention to you the 10 to 15. So D-Rod is 15. You got
Mhm.
MVP at 14, he's booked. You got Colby at 13, he's not booked. Euros Medic is debuting in the rankings at 12 now. Gilbert Burns is booked, and then Gabriel Bonfim. So that's the top 15 right there. Bonfim, Burns, Medic, Covington, MVP, and D-Rod.
Give me Covington.
Give you Covington. Run
Send
it.
me to superstardom. Give me Covington.
I think you would do fans a lot of favors because the fans hate the fact that Colby's still ranked these days.
Man, that dude
They'd love
ain't
to see
gonna
your
fight
name up
no
in there
time
instead.
soon.
Yeah.
If he does, let's do it. I mean,
Okay.
that would be so fucking crazy.
That will be a crazy fight. A lot of trash talk though from Colby.
It don't matter.
Don't
It
matter.
don't matter.
You ready for it?
Can he still trash talk with his hands? That's the only thing that matters.
Okay. I guess we got to find out though.
Hopefully.
Yeah. When do you want to return? Because you just mentioned like you're down to have a quick turnaround per se, but
Mhm.
just your answer on when you'd like to step back in the octagon in a perfect world.
That Miami card in April 11th.
Oh, is that UFC 327
Joshua Van, I think he's the
versus
main.
Tetsuro Taira?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love that in Miami is a dope ass place. Get me there.
Okay, 327 then. Miami.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I was also going to mention because of the whole Kevin Holland call out, he's booked against Randy Brown. So would you just be down to maybe fight the winner of that one? Or is Randy
Wh
Brown not really on your
Where's Randy
radar?
Brown ranked? Where's he?
He's not.
See, there we go. I mean, I guess I could do one more,
Okay.
but I mean, what sense does that make for me, you know? I'm just stacking them up at this point, but I mean, I guess one more of these solidify yourself fights wouldn't hurt, but I mean, I need to renegotiate in my contract. I'll fight 15, I'll fight 14, I'll fight 13, I'll fight 12, 11, 10 to rack up the numbers. I mean, I'm ready to push because I know, man. You know, like I've trained with these guys, at least 3 or 4, maybe even 5 of these dudes that's in the top, going from Islam, Jeff Neal, fucking who else is in there? I've trained with them and I know where I stand, and I think we all know, they know, and I'm not saying it's a waste of time, but like I just need shit to make sense.
Mhm. What you're saying is that you need an opponent who's gonna propel you to that next level at this point. To have these opponents like Josiah, where it's like, okay, let's still see what he can do against a real guy. Because that's the kind of
Mhm.
narrative, right? He knocked out Josiah. Let's see what he can do against a real guy. You want to face a real guy now, so that when you
Yeah,
finish him and you get this victory, it's not like let's see what he could do. It's like now we know what
yeah,
he could do. Let's push him
yeah.
further up the
Like I
rankings.
need that. I want it,
Yeah.
give me that one. Like, let's say they end up giving me somebody like that's ranked 7th, 6th, and I do end up beating them and I'm in the mix, I wouldn't mind after that, fending off 3 or 4 more guys, just to, keep it going. But I'm to that point where I need to let it be known that I'm in there. I'm top 10. I need that spotlight where I know I need to be. And I win that, you know, whoever's the next hot shot fucking shit up that's not in the top nothing and they trying to get to where I'm at in the position that I'm in now. I'll take them after too. But I mean, it's getting to a point where I'm antsy about it. Like I'm ready to get in there and rumble with some competition.
Right. You want to get validated, and that makes sense
Yeah,
to me. Then you'll be down to, stay there and fight other guys, but for now you want to get that fight that's going to validate you in the eyes of the fans.
yeah, for
Honestly,
sure.
maybe like tell DC like cuz everybody's been asking is D-Rod locked up? Like is he locked up or not in Mexico?
Mhm.
Maybe ask DC to like fucking reach out to his manager and be like, yo, can we get a fight going with Jacobe? And his manager might be like, "Yes," or "No, homie's locked up right now."
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
that would be that top 15 matchup you're looking for.
For sure.
Yeah, maybe. let me know if DC does reach out to his manager and if it turns out D-Rod's in jail. Please let me know about that because everybody
Yeah,
wants to know.
I mean, I seen a post about it, and I'm like, this shit can't be real, Like it was like a video, and I'm like, if that's the case, I mean, and this was before I fought that I seen it. So if he's still dealing with that, that's crazy,
You would have thought that he would have dispelled the rumor though. If he's at home and seeing the same videos we're all seeing online,
Yeah,
you would have
yeah,
thought he'd post to his story, be like, I'm fine, I'm not locked up. Which leads me to think he might be, unfortunately.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll know in near future.
Okay, for sure. And let me see. That might be all the questions, but I think there was one more that's slipping my mind right now. So let me just um oh, I was gonna ask you this one actually. Well, two things. Did you see Dana's reaction to your knockout? Like, how does that make you feel when Dana is like, that's one of the craziest knockouts I've seen in a hot minute?
Uh, a little bit more hope on my side, but you know how this business is,
Cutthroat.
the highs and the lows, man. But as soon as I finished, I walked over, made eye contact with Mick Maynard, and I think he was like, "Yeah, we need to talk." And I was like, "Yeah, we do need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk soon. I need more money. We need to talk." And Dana was sitting right next to him. And then I left from talking to them and went to my corner, and Kyle was like, "Good shit, man. That fucking post interview was fucking money." Um, I was watching Dana after the call out when you mentioned Kevin Holland's name. You didn't get too much of a reaction, but whatever the fuck you said right after that, Dana started smiling. He was hyped. So I mean, I got to go back and watch. I don't know what I said after that, but
Maybe it was
we'll
the where's your
see.
bitch ass at part. I don't know.
We'll see, man. So
Hmm. Okay.
I think it was a good night for business, and the Jacoby Smith Blacksmith brand is definitely trending in a good direction.
Yeah. I also saw Dana put you on if you don't know, now you know, that little
Yeah.
Instagram reel he posts. And then after the
Mhm.
knockout, he tweeted and he's like, now you know. So he's
Yeah.
pushing you. You know what I mean? You'll probably end up on his stories soon and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Um, I was gonna ask you this one to wrap it up. There's RAF this Saturday. Do you know Giorgio Polis? By the way, you're familiar with
Well,
him?
yeah, I watch his shit.
Yeah, me too. I just did an interview with him, and he's super confident going into this matchup with Arman. And
Mhm.
he did go to. I think he said he went to like University of Mississippi, or it starts with an M, Missouri or something. But he lost to Crutchmer to qualify, or not Crutchmer. Sorry, that's your coach. He lost to
Shit.
he's a white guy. There was a documentary Flo just came out about him.
Mm.
Where like he was dealing with drug problems. I think he has like red hair. He's super good.
Marsteller?
Marsteller, yeah, yeah. He told me that he lost to Marsteller to qualify for the NCAA tournament his true freshman year.
Mm.
So it just goes to show like Giorgio's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then he's going up against Armand, who's been training with like Sadulayev and shit. So people are kind of hyping up Armand. What you think about this matchup going into it though?
I think it's a 50-50 matchup, to be honest, because um Armand's strong as fuck, man. And it's not like he don't understand wrestling. And it don't matter that he's around people that are better than him. That's how you get better. But that Giorgio dude is a fucking tank. I say it's a 50-50 matchup. I wouldn't bet on it because, Armand isn't a wrestler and this dude is, you know, his life is wrestling. So, I mean, he's not a pushover by any means, but Armand coming off that win against the national champ or finalist, the way he just teched that dude on the last RAF, it's like, holy shit, because people didn't think he was gonna do that. So it's like, this definitely a 50-50 matchup for sure.
Okay. The one thing about the last match though, like, uh, I think Palmer would have put up a lot better of a fight when he was younger, like 5 years ago. Homie's kind of old now.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know. I just know they were saying he was a finalist or some shit.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
But they
Fuck,
didn't mention he's pushing like 40 and shit like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. So, if I had to choose somebody right now, fuck. I think I would go with Giorgio winning, but not dominating, just winning,
I'm rocking with
just because
Giorgio.
just because he understands it a little more.
Right. And he's more well
So,
versed, I think, in freestyle and all the rules for right now.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Armand's been focused on the UFC and all that stuff for a hot minute. Would you ever be down to compete in RAF though?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I'm not fucking wrestling no motherfucking David Carr, national champ, anybody in wrestling. Shit, give me the dudes coming in, the
Give
fucking
you like
UFC
another
fighters,
UFC
I think.
fighter.
Yeah, or whoever. Because I mean, if you ain't training that wrestling shit, I'm telling you, it's that's why I always say, bro, I need to get back to Oklahoma State for one of these fight camps because it is nothing like being in wrestling shape. Like, what's his name? Johnny Hendricks, his last fight, he came up to Oklahoma State and I was the starter and I was training, I was literally in season, whooping ass, getting down. This dude comes in and does this camp and does all this. I don't know who his last fight was against,
Maybe
but
Wonder Boy, I think.
yeah,
I'm
and
not
I
mistaken.
I just know, bro, if I'm in that shape that I was in then, knowing what I know how to fight now, I'm fucking up the whole division.
Okay.
So,
Well, maybe one thing that could help you get to OK State again and train, because it's what I was gonna say. I got two things I wanted to say, and then we'll end the interview. But number one, maybe if the UFC, once they renegotiate their deal with you, as you know, they said you guys got to talk, right? Got to be talking money. I was gonna say to that, I think you should be getting bumped up to like 100K, 100K at the least. You know what I mean? I think that help you get to Oklahoma State a little bit,
yeah,
sooner.
for sure.
Yeah.
We gotta talk for sure, and I mean, hopefully numbers are better than that because, ain't no more pay-per-view, the likeliness shit, and on top of all the money that they giving to these motherfucking boxers coming in out of nowhere,
15 milli to
fucking
Connor Ben. You ever heard of Connor Ben?
yeah, I watch boxing, man. Boxing is my shit, but goddamn, bro, for him to come in, one fight deal, just fucking loaded, like, fuck that, bro. I'm still on my fucking bare minimum contract and, out here stressing on renegotiating. DC asking me what I think I should start at, and I'm like, fuck my next fight. I want to be close to making a quarter million, so
Yeah.
I think I deserve it.
Maybe I'll even just send this to you in the DMs after the interview if I still have it pinned. But I pinned this post recently, of like the art of negotiation. And one of the big steps is making them give you the first offer,
Hmm.
because then you can go up or down. But if you give the UFC your first offer, they're 100% gonna shoot you down from that.
Yes, for
And
sure.
then they were saying something along the lines of like, if the UFC wants you to say it first, then you should respond to them and be like, "Well, what is like what's like your budget for like top 15 fighters? Like what's the budget like that the average you pay out to top 15 ranked fighters?" And then so you can
Hmm.
establish the floor price and then bring it up a little bit for yourself. But
Yeah,
I'll send it to you because it's important, they're equipped with all the negotiation tactics. So I'm gonna help you out a
yeah,
little
for
bit.
sure.
Send you
Yeah,
something.
appreciate it,
And the
man.
last thing I was gonna say is you said you trained with Islam and you know where you stand. Obviously, Islam's the 170-pound champion. And honestly, I doubt that like, it's gonna line up where you guys are fighting because I think Islam's almost done with his career. But
Hmm.
just curious, what is that something where like you guys are cool and you wouldn't want to fight him because of your past trainings, or like would you be down to fight a guy like Islam in the future?
Uh, to be honest, there's only one guy at welterweight that I wouldn't fight. Everybody else, you know, y'all not sending my kids Christmas presents or, checking on me or my family if we're sick or, all about my family. So the only person that I wouldn't fight is Ramiz Brahimich. Everybody else is fair game. So line them all up. Line them all up. We'll knock them all down.
Bet. All right. Well, thank you, Jacoby. I appreciate the time. And yeah, hopefully we can get you that D-Rod, Euros Medic, winner of Kevin Holland if he beats Randy Brown. So I'll be looking out for
Mhm.
that fight announcement.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you.